tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Hello, my name is Mkhari Masubu. Welcome to this episode of Who'd Be an Actor. If you know that speech, yay! If you don't know that speech, it's Macbeth's soliloquy. When he finds out that Lady Macbeth is gone, she's dead. I wanted to use it to do an analysis of text in order to get not only an idea of the emotional state of the character, but how a playwright or an author, or you, if you're a writer, can use your words to build the breadth of a scene, as in how big a scene is, or space is, or how small it is. So just by words, a character can tell us where they are, when they are, and why they are. So if you have been watching this for a while, then you know, and if you do not, I will now tell you, this is part of my Shakespeare series. I'm continuing it purely by chance because these sessions are sort of coming to me in dreams, and like, oh yes, we can use that to analyze this, which is a very good acting tool, which then are useful for this. So the reason why you want to study the words, first of all, is because you need to learn them. But while you're learning them, you're doing more than just cramming for an exam. You're not doing that. You're getting to know your character. And one of the things you need to know about the character is, where are they? Where are they in this point in their life? Where are they physically? When are they? What time of day is it? What place is it? What mood are they in? And all of that, absolutely everything, is more often than not contained in the things that they say, or the things that are said about them, or about the space they're in. Now, in more modern writing, the playwrights are much, much friendlier. They give you information in the directions. But Shakespeare, he wrote very few directions. What he did do was he gave his characters sweeping speeches, hence this one. So let's start analyzing it. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. Now, that alone could mean anything. It can mean tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. You could say it with happiness. I'm going to do this tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. So I'm going to do it again and again and again. So we know it means a repetition. So whatever he's describing is happening over and over again. And then the next line he says, creeps in this petty pace. Creep. When something creeps in, that's not really a welcome thing. When it's creeping, it's sort of inching across, like sliding along, or the physical showing of creeping always, when you think it's like I'm going to creep across something, you kind of scrunch up and go on your tiptoes, and you just it's steady, it's painfully slow, and it's contracted and constricted. And he's saying tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow is painful and slow and constricted. And he calls it petty. So then what does petty mean? All these images of something, like, what does it mean in modern terms? It means something that you do to get on someone's nerves because they did something to you. So tomorrow thinks that you did something to it. So it's doing something negative to you. So tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace. And here again, the image of time being slow is so big because he says creeps and petty and pace. He mentions time 3 times in 3 different ways in one sentence. So you get the breadth of the scene. It is long. It's unending. It drags on. So time is dragging on to the last syllable, to the very last drop, to your last word that is recorded. And all our yesterdays, everything we've ever done, again, you get the idea of a breath, and when I say breath, but like life, but no, I'm talking about how wide it is, the span of it, how much space it covers. Everything in our yesterdays, your entire life, up to this point that you are in now, or up to this, and you are this character, your entire life up to this point now has been foolish because it's led you all the way to dust. Because he says it, all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. And then he says, out. And the way you shape your mouth to say out is almost like you're blowing. Out, out, brief, candle. Those 3 words, like out, out, brief. And then it's a candle. Out, out, brief, brief, candle. Snuffing it out. He starts off with time drags on, unendingly, leading to one inevitable thing. All your life that you have lived is leading you to this inevitable thing. Those lines tell us that he is, at this point in his life, about to go through something terminal, or contemplating something terminal, or someone has gone through something terminal. Either way, this is an end, not a beginning. And it's not a small end that he's describing. It's huge. It's wide. It has depth to it, and perhaps even height to it. And then he says, as we think of height, life is but a walking shadow. If you think about that, like, you are, in his mind, you are not you, you are your shadow. A mere shell of the real thing. A poor player. A player is an actor who struts and frets his hour upon the stage. A bad actor who struts and frets, puts on a show, rather than living on stage for that hour that is on stage. And then is heard no more, because no one's going to hire that person again. And very soon anybody who talks about that person is, do you know what I mean? So he's making it clear that his feelings about life are, it's a joke, an ugly joke. And then you're just gone. It is a tale. Just to pin it, he says it is a story. A myth. A romantic thing that some idiot hotels to make themselves feel better, full of noise and passion and, and then it means nothing. So those words layered on and layered on give this huge picture, and it just grows and grows and grows. And then he just constantly, in fact you could say that he does that twice, because he builds a huge picture and then it's candle, and then again he builds a huge picture and it's nothing, signifying nothing. And that's how your character's words can give you an idea of how big their thoughts are, and the space is, and their experience is, or how small it is, and how it encompasses life, the action they're about to do, if they're giving you some exposition, which happens a lot on stage, or if you are studying this character to understand your character in reference to this character, you can get an idea of what they're thinking about you and how much of that you know. And if you're world building, if you're working together in your world building, you're studying this to say, according to this character, this part of this world is this size, and it looks like this, and then it begins to give you an idea of the space you're working in, and the time you're working in, and the mood you are working in. I mean, a good example of how effective this is watch the Macbeth that Denzel Washington was just in, and watch the one Laurence Olivier was in, and all the other Macbeths. And I think there's a recording of the one I was in where I got to play Macbeth, and will play him again, by God's grace. I will play him again. Every setting is gloomy. It's like, it's big and broad, but it's just very heavy. I hope that's helpful. I hope you're enjoying these little snippets. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. God bless and keep you. God make his face to shine on you and be gracious towards you. God turn his countenance towards you